Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
All right, thanks a lot, Ken, and thank you for tuning into the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh. You can give me a call tonight, 412-575-2600 is the number. You can reach me on Twitter, and we're going to be talking about the lack of Bucco fever now. It is basically over. It has subsided here in Pittsburgh. The Pirates scored the first one, and then the A's scored the next 13 right now and are losing 13-1 in the bottom of the eighth. And that rain delay should have been all night because right now, bad defense combined with bad hitting and bad pitching doesn't win too many games. And so the Pirates, not a good start to their homestand here. Their next 5 of interleague play against the mediocre A's. They tried to take, you had to take advantage of a slumping A's team right now with a 14-19 record. Both teams had 14 wins. The A's played a little more than the Pirates right now, but the Pirates are going to fall to 14-15 after tonight, unless there's some kind of miraculous scoring spree the next couple innings. It's looking like the Buccos are going to fall to 14-15. Hey, the one bright spot to tonight's game, Brian Reynolds extends his hitting streak to 10 games now. That was the one thing you can maybe take out of tonight's game. The rookie phenom, he's having a pretty good start to his rookie campaign right now, Brian Reynolds, and he's making a case to make Clint Hurdle, Frank Coonley, Neil Huntington keep him up here with the big club when Corey Dickerson gets healthy. And when guys are getting healthy, you want to go with the young guys. It's just unfortunate that nothing went their way. And it really started, I'm going to bring Paul Zeise here in a second, but it really started, I'm going to get his opinion. It really started, I think, with bad defense tonight. Jung Ho Gung no one can seem to throw a ball. And that's fundamentals. That's Little League baseball. I learned how to throw a ball when I was like 8 years old. And these guys are just throwing it all over the place, Paul. And you would think a major league player shouldn't be making these mistakes. And mistakes like that caused that disaster of a second inning. And then you had a terrible fourth inning. They're making that Fagley guy, Josh Fagley, look like a seven RBIs, a couple doubles, a single. It just wasn't a good night over at PNC Park.
No, and the error by Gung, obviously, but they made another mistake in that inning.
Error by Gung, another bad throw.
But why did Musgrove go to third there with? I didn't understand that. I thought he'd just go to first with it. You know what I mean? But he was trying to make a hero play. It didn't work out. So then Gung rushes a throw, which he just shouldn't have made. But the bottom line, though, is Musgrove got shelled pretty good too, though.
Yeah.
So I mean, and then Nick Kingham came in. I probably shouldn't say this, but can you come up with one reason why Nick Kingham is on this team?
I mean, he was vying for the 5th starter. Right now, I mean, maybe he had a couple good starts last year.
You know why he's on the team? Because he's out of options.
And that's what I was going to say.
That's the only reason he's on the team. And the bottom line is, I mean, he's not good. Brault's not. I mean, these guys, they've got to get better players in that bullpen. Feliz, they brought him out. Liriano, I'm thinking to myself. Now the good thing is they've protected all of their most important relievers, Kella and Crick and Vasquez. I'm assuming they're not going to have to use those guys tonight. So you at least have that part of your bullpen good for the next 2 days if you need them. But I think we talk about their bullpen and how great it is. The back end is really good. Crick is good. Kella is good.
He had
Vasquez
moments though that ruined some games this year.
Yeah, but he's always a slow starter. I mean, he's got. You watch him pitch. He's got good stuff. I'm not worried about him. The Rich Rodriguez though, Feliz. These guys are just not. I mean, Brault, Kingham. I mean, I'm sorry, these guys are not good enough. You've got to come up with at least 1 or 2 more. My thing is. Let's say they would have used Kella and Crick and Vasquez tonight, right? And then they'd have used Vasquez and Kella tomorrow, which means they only have really Crick available Sunday. Right? Okay, they go to the bullpen in the 5th with a 3-1 lead.
And you have Lyles pitching on Sunday as well.
That's what I mean. So after the 5th, they go to the bullpen with a 3-1 lead, meaning you got to get 6th, 7th, and 8th until you get the Crick in the 9th. Who is pitching the 6th, 7th, and 8th?
Well, I mean, I guess that's where you'd have to go with like a Liriano and Broad. I don't know if you feel good about these options.
That's my
Feliz,
point.
I don't feel good at all.
That's exactly my point.
But if you don't have to use these guys, I mean, when I was at spring training, their whole philosophy and what they kept emphasizing is, hey, if our starting pitchers can give us 6 or 7 innings, that's what we want, that's what we think, then we're going to be able to shut it down with this bullpen.
Well, that's great, but they're like Archer only goes 5 innings.
Yeah, Rich Rodriguez has been a disaster.
I mean, that's just the way Lyles is a 5-inning guy. So I mean, for the most part, you're going to have to use those guys.
All right, we're going to take a break. Back with phone calls and tweets. I'm at Rich Walsh. She's at Paul Zeise. We could talk about the Buccos if you want. They're losing right now. I don't know if anyone wants to talk about that. How about Artie Burns? The Steelers declined his option. You knew that was coming. They're not going to pick up a 5th-year option at $9.5 million. So that's other big news today. Also, Juju Smith-Schuster talked to us about being a leader. That's another thing we can talk about. Give us a call. 412-575-2600 is the number. Hey, if you want to talk about Tyler Glasnow, we can talk about that tonight. He goes 7 innings, all shutout innings, no runs, 8 strikeouts. His ERA drops to 1.47. All right, back in a couple minutes.
The Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call is brought to you by Ireland Contracting, celebrating 25 years as Pittsburgh's #1 home exterior expert in roofing, siding, windows, and gutters, where honesty still matters.